This video is of the sugar cane syrup cooking January 4th, 2020 at Steve Melton's Southern Mills Ranch. We ground, cooked, and bottled sugar cane syrup 3 times in one day. About 24 persons came to help convert 155 gallons of cane juice into over 25 gallons of sugar cane syrup. We set several personal and local records that day, not the least of which was the most fun we've ever had at a cane cooking. Many thanks to all who came and participated in this challenge. Okay, this is the pile of cane. Should be at least 2 cookings worth in here. And Steve tells me that this is the prettiest pile of straight cane he's ever used in a cooking. There's plenty of it here to feed. More sitting on the front end loader over there, and it will go in this mill. That is quite a bit of cane. Steve, Charlie, and I cut the tops out of all of it.
And then there's another cooking right over here. Keep going up.
And there's a second cooking on this trailer.
Third cooking.
Third cooking on this trailer. How about that? Now it's time for a break. The day before, the buckets have to be washed before you can put cane juice in them for the second and the third cooking. So it is necessary to split the wood before the cane cooking so that you can feed the wood into the fire that boils the kettle. This is Jim and Steve. Setting up the belt to run the cane grinder. Needs a little more adjustment. It's now 7:30 and the first grinding has begun. The cane goes in one end, the pummies come out the other, and the cane juice fills the bin. It is pumped into the sugar shack where it is cooked. We have 2 cane grinders going at one time. The first one on the far end is belt drive from a tractor. This one is an electric motor that drives this, the stainless steel one. Cane juice comes out into a tub and is pumped inside into the kettle. And this is what the cane juice looks like when it comes out. It's very herbal and slightly sweet. It has about 9% sugar by content. Filling up buckets here for the second cooking. As soon as the first one comes off, we'll be pouring these in. These buckets will sit here for about an hour and then we will skim them, which will speed up the cooking process later. We'll do this a second time as soon as these buckets are emptied. You'll probably need about 11 buckets in order to make a full cook. Now this is the kettle filled for the first cooking. It's beginning to heat, and this will be the fire here. That is maintained at a very high level until it begins to boil, and then it is adjusted for the boil.
There, till you see how thick that crust is? Yeah. We like to keep it there because it grabs the impurities and no sense in stirring that stuff back in. So we just take the crust off all at one time. And so Bob, why don't you show them how to start? And well, let me just show everybody kind of how this goes. What we do is we drop it down underneath it just enough to get, and then let it drain pretty good. And then just get right up underneath it and just lift it up, let it drain, and then we'll take that. So we'll share that around a little bit. We can start dipping there. I mean, we can start skimming.
And the purpose of this, Steve?
And what we're doing is we're getting the crust off of here. All the impurities from that heat has come up. This is the first skimming that we do to get the crust off. And in a little bit, that foam will start coming up, and we'll clean it with the rags to super clean it then.
Remind me how fast we were this morning in grinding?
Yes, we set a record for us here. We did probably 105 or 10 gallons of juice for 2 cookings in a half hour. We had a big mill going, which we were feeding faster than we ever have, good straight cane. And then we had another mill going that added to it. And so 2 50-gallon cookings in a half hour. We set a record for us.
Thank you. This cooking is this is still the first cooking. It's coming right along. We're starting to see signs of it blooping in the back. It shouldn't be too long now before this one's ready to come off and we can begin the second one. The first cooking is nearly done. It is about ready to be scooped off.
You're going to be scooping that after that.
Steve, tell me what you're doing with that gauge.
Okay, this is the Bohm hydrometer. We measure specific gravity here on the density of the liquid. And the higher it goes, the thicker it is, and that will match the temperature, which just a double way to check.
And what number are you wanting on the Bohm hydrometer?
34 to 35 on the Bohm hydrometer.
And 227?
To 228 on the temperature gauge.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
This is the second cooking. It was less than 30 minutes before this was on a full boil, completely skimmed, and now boiling white. This was very fast. Anything you want to say about this one, Steve?
Yes, sir?
Anything you want to say about this one?
Yes. We dump this back in, and within just a few minutes, we're all ready to white foam. With the rags in, we have saved an hour by dumping right back in. This is rolling really good.
Excellent. Okay, we've got the buckets in place for the last cooking, and the kettle is just about finished. It should be coming off in a minute or two.
Yeah, that's the second cooking here.
Yeah, this is the second.
At 1:30.
Okay. This is the last test before we pull this cooking.
Don't let him lean so far over there. Keep it pouring. Keep coming. Keep coming. That'll work.
Uh-huh.
It's there. 135. Start dipping.
Open the fire.
Open the box. You got that open too? Okay.
This is the bottling process.
But it was mostly because maybe.
One thing about this,
It will shrink. It pulls off.
much better
Expanded,
is
and
that
it'll shrink down.
put the juice in those buckets and let it come to the top. Yes, this ma'am, sorry. And then skim it off. You don't have to skim it here. We don't have as many skims as in the
This is now the third cooking. It's well into it. It has already been skimmed well. And in theory, we should be out of here by about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Still have most of our crew.
3:30, and we're already halfway done with the third cooking.
Yeah.
And when they were getting there, and once the contestant threw those on, one of the bears looked at gas and had bags like that.
This is the cane that we had left after running 3 grindings worth. We started out with 2 wagon loads. We have about 2/3 of a wagon load left. And Steve is planning on doing a small cooking later on in this week. These are the pummies. They're what's left of the cane stalks after they have been run through the cane mill. After they go through the cane mill, they're crushed, the juice comes out, and these are the remaining stalks. Those stalks are taken down into the field and deposited where the cattle can get them, and the cattle are enjoying them. There's still a residue of sweetness in that stalks, and they will chew on those and get the last little bit of sugar out of the pulp.
That's the best cup of coffee I've had in a long time.
All right, Jerry, how much did we have in our first and second cooking?
The first cooking, we started out with 50 gallons of juice and come out with 8 1/4 gallons of syrup finished. The second cooking, we started with 50 gallons and we come out with 9 3/4 gallons of syrup.
Excellent, thank you.
So it's just about a gallon different from the first to the second one. The third one, we're going to find out here in about 2 hours. So we'll find out then what that one is.
Thanks a lot.
No problem, buddy.
It's already dropped down.
Yeah,
It's already dropped down. Put a little bit more in there.
It's getting colder, gonna be a rolling read.
Yeah, go ahead. Let it pour.
I got to pull the fire this time, so when they say pull the fire, I got to put this thing down.
Okay. Steve, trust somebody to pour that stuff into, Eddie?
Yeah, it's Marcus this time.
Marcus can handle it.
That's close.
34.
Tell him I sure could use him at Dicey's.
Melvin said he could have used you at Dicey's. They didn't have nobody but Henry Boyette there.
Melvin said what?
Said he could have used you at Dicey's yesterday. Said there wasn't nobody there to help but Henry Boyette.
To make one more minute to make it thick.
Charlie, you may be the way of Paul's video in there.
That's all right.
And he may put it on YouTube. You pulled the thing out.
Yeah, I saw it dropping. Throw another log on the fire.
You got to keep your bait in the water.
It's there. Okay, start
Don't
dipping.
pull it. Anybody want to
Call
hold
pull the
this
fire,
thing for
Steve.
Wilbur?
Call pull the fire.
Okay, I got it. Okay, Wilbur, I'm holding it for you. They're dipping.
Pull the fire.
Hold the fire. They were dipping it in. Dipping it. Charlie has just pulled the fire out here. Here's the kettle steaming hot.
Oh, my bad.
got a long handle on this baby.
Maybe we should make some biscuits
You can-
today with that
You
syrup.
don't have to fill it up quite so much, it's easier.
Yeah, we're at the bottom right there. We need to change barrels.
And syrup.
I think we're gonna fill that up. Yeah. Hold your bucket down there. Just hold it down, he'll scoop that up. Wilbur, here's the last of it. We're getting out. Get two more buckets for us.
Biscuit.
Then we got a
That looks-
paper towel. We'll get some.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. That's good, go for it.
Go on.
He ain't got no water.
Okay. here we go.
Got it under control. There's Melvin.
Melvin Marcus, Jerry and Steve. Thanks a lot. And Charlie.
There's Charlie, and there's Paul. There's Wilbur, Marcus, and Jerry.
House, so I don't have to drive that extra.
We are bottling the last cooking. It came off of the kettle at 5 o'clock. So we started at 7:30 and did 3 cookings, and it came off the kettle at 5. And it looks like we're going to be out of here by 5:30.
The third round that we just ran, we have 8 gallons with 50 gallons of juice. So we had a real good turnout, did real well on it. Plus there's a couple bottles I think some of the guys put their hands
Took
in
with them
and took
anyway.
off with. So it's a little bit higher, but we're going to go with 8 gallons.
Excellent. Now, the only thing left to do is wash up, and I'm going to get out of here before I get recruited. This was a lot of fun.
This was such a special day because of all of the new accomplishments we made. This is some of the best cooking day I can remember. First of all, we broke a record on how many cookings we squeezed with the mills. We broke records on how fast we got the juice into the kettle. The next, we did 3 cookings in one day, which has never been done that I have been around. They used to do a lot of times, but this was a special day. But the most important thing, we had over 24 people here throughout the day, and having everybody enjoying one another so much, I can't remember when we've had a better cooking with the camaraderie and the things we accomplished. It has been a great day. And thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for all the help.
I appreciate it.
Sticking it out. Thank you, Paul.
You're very welcome. I loved it.
This was a great day.
We rose to the challenge.
Yes, we did.